Okay guys, so this week we're reviewing the O sound. We have a short O, which is ah, and then we have long O, which is O. And one of those long O's, you're going to see an OA in the middle of the word. This OA says O. In some of the other words, you're going to see an O and then something and then an E on the end. An O and then a consonant, so not a vowel, a consonant, and then an E. This E makes this O say O. And then we got at least one oddball in there. We'll see what else we got. So your first word is lost. We're going to put it right here because it's an ah. Ah. Lost. It goes right there in the first column. L-O-S-T. Lost. Okay? Get that in your first column. The next one you want to try is goat. And goat is G-O-A. So it goes right here. Go. Goat. Okay, so you see how there's the O and the A in the middle there? It makes that O sound. Goat. Okay, some of you might try to spell it G-O-T-E. Don't try to spell it G-O-T-E, even though if you spelled it that way, I would read goat. I would know you meant to say goat. That's not how we spell goat. Okay, so some words that have O are spelled O-A-T, or O-A in the middle. Okay, now the word chose. Chose, O's. And this is one that has an E on the end. Okay, chose. Just like that. O's. See if we can brighten it up a little bit. There we go. So chose. Okay, if you spelled it C-H-O-A-S, I would know you meant chose, but that's not how chose is spelled. So you just have to try to figure out, does it go here or does it go here? So you're going to have to study to know which groups of words go together. So the next word I want you to try is slope. Slope. And I'll give you a hint. Slope, like the hill, the slope of the hill was steep. Slope ends with an E. Slope. So try to write the word slope. It ends with an E. So it goes right here. O, sl, O. Now look, if we just leave it like this, it says slop. Okay, we don't want it to say slop. Okay, you don't want to go sliding down the slop in the wintertime. Right? You want to go sliding down the slope. So we've got to put an E on the end. Because that E is really important. It makes slop become slope. Okay? Now we've got soft. So you want to hear what O sound that is. Soft. 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 Okay? It's an ah like in lost. Soft. It's not an O. It's not soft. It's not oft. Okay? You don't say this blanket is soft. You say it's soft. 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 Okay, so it goes in this same O as like lost. Okay. The next one I want you to try is float. And this has an O-A in it. Float. Float. Okay, so you should hear full oat. Full oat. Float. Okay, so it goes right there. The next word you want to try, and this one ends in an E, is drove. I drove across the town. Drove. Drove. Okay, we're going to write it in there. D-R. Dr. Ove. Okay, and don't just leave it without the E, because then it says drove. Okay, that E makes that O say O. Okay, your next word is boat. Okay, and this is an O-A word. This has O and A in the middle of it. Boat. boat. It's going to go right here. B, O, T. And see, even though I'm only saying one sound here, I'm writing two letters. B, O, T. Okay, boat. The next one, and this is also OA, soap. Soap. So let's try to write it. It's going to go right here. S-O-A-P. Soap. Next you want to try foam. Foam. There was some foam in the ocean. Foam, and that is O-A. Okay, that's an O-A in the middle there. Foam. F-O-A-M. Ohm. And the next one I want you to try is toad. Toad, and that's O-A. Okay. The toad came out when it rained. Toad. Okay. Toad. Right there. Toad. Okay, and then your next word is cross. Please help me cross the road. Cross. So what sound do you hear in there for the O? Is it a long O or is it a short O, first of all? Cross. Cross. Do you hear the O sound in that word? Do you hear cross? If you heard an O sound, you would hear. If you heard an O sound, you would hear cross. But it's an ah. It's not an oddball. It's short. Okay, it's just a short O. Ah. Cross. Okay, and the next one I want you to try is road. The road was long and windy. Road. Okay, and that's an OA. Okay, if you wrote R-O-D-E, that would mean you rode on a horse. Or you rode in the car. So you can write R-O-D-E, but not for your spelling test. Because for this spelling test, I need to know that we're talking about the road we drive on. Okay? Road. Your next word is load. Load. My dad had a big load in the back of his pickup truck, and that is whoops. Well, it's O-A. I'll tell you that one because I already started to say it. Load. Okay. Ode. Load. Okay, your next word is toast. Toast. And this also has an O-A in it. Toast. Toast. Okay. It's going to be toast. Okay. And then your next word is going to be coat. Please put your coat on. It's cold outside. Coat. And that is O-A. Coat. So most of these words are O-A. Coat. Right here. Coat. Okay. Then your last word for, oh no, not your last one, sorry. The next word is stone. The stone was heavy, and this ends in an E. Stone. So if it ends in an E, it doesn't have an O-A in it. Stone. Okay, it's going to go in the long O over here. Stone. Okay, like that. Stone. Okay, and then we have a couple of tricky words that I'm going to put at the bottom of these lists, because these ones are not oddball words, but they're kind of tricky because they have letters in them that you don't hear. One of those words is knock. It goes in the short O because it's n, a, k, and it sounds like it starts with an N. The problem is it doesn't start with an N. Okay? This word starts with a K. It has a silent K. Okay? It looks like it should say knock. K-N-O-C-K. Knock. Okay? Silent K, and it's in the short O column. Knock. Alright? Your next word that is a little bit tricky is the word whole. Like, I ate a whole piece of the pie. I ate a whole pie. And the reason, and I'm just going to put a circle around it so you know it's a tricky word. The word whole, because whole starts with a W. And we don't pronounce it whole, right? We just say whole. So it's a silent W. And this whole means like the whole thing. I fell in a hole looks like this. Look right up there. This is I fell in a hole. No W. Okay? Just adding a W when it means the whole thing. Okay? And you can think about knowing that it means the whole thing because it's got more letters. It's the whole letters. It's the whole of the letters. It's all of the letters are in this whole word. Okay? I fell in a hole and W came and rescued me. Okay? And here's the whole thing. Back again. Okay? Now the two words that I thought would be a little tricky, and we're going to put them in the oddball category because they have short O sounds, but they end in an E. Two. There's two. And they're the same pattern. They rhyme. Well, they don't rhyme. They sort of have the same vowel sound. Okay? So we're going to do this. I'm going to write up here short O, so you know it's a short O sound. Okay? But I'm going to put that big C in the middle there, and it ends in an E. Okay? That's what I want you to kind of... No, it's an actually, sound. It's actually not an It's not a short O sound. It's a short U sound. Okay? So, we'll just cross this out. It's an It's like an It's a short U. But there's no U in these words. These are words you would think there should be a U in, but there is not. And the words are none, which is N-O-N-E. This sounds like you should write it N-U-N. But if you write this word N-U-N, that means like a lady who lives in a convent. Okay? It doesn't mean none. This means there isn't any. So if you change this to a U, it becomes a lady. Alright? So it goes from nothing, none, not any at all, to a lady. Okay, so you got to be real careful about that. When you mean nothing, don't put a U in there to make it a lady. Okay? That will surprise your story. Alright? And the next word is love. And that's L-O-V-E. Love. Okay, it sounds like an sounds like a short U. But don't write this L-U-V. Okay, that's not how we spell love. Okay, this is just L-O-V-E. And none rhymes with, there's another word that you know that goes in here. Some of you, I know how to spell the word one. O-N-E. It's the same kind of thing. Okay, don't put this one in though. This isn't your spelling word. I just wrote it to show you. Cross it out. Okay, but these are tricky words. You're going to have to practice them to get the idea. So, here are your lists. I would suggest trying to remember which words end in E. Okay, because that's going to help you. Which words with the long O end in E. Because then you'll know they don't have an OA in them. So you could think like, we drove to the stone, I don't know, slope. You can make it up. And we chose to drive the whole way to the stone slope. Okay, if you get a sentence in your head like that, you know that anything in the sentence, we chose to, we can't say we chose to drove. Okay, we chose to drive the whole way to the stone slope, so we drove. Okay? We chose to drive the whole way to the stone slope, so we drove. Okay, you can make up a little saying that will help you remember your E's on the end. Okay, you could also make up a saying that would help you remember your OA's. So you could say, I watched the goat float on a boat using soap that made foam, and then there was a toad in the road that had a load of toast. Okay, there was a toad in the road wearing a coat that had a load of toast. Okay, you can just make it up, and then you'll know those are your OA words if it's in that sentence. Okay, so when I say it on the test, all you have to do is go through the list in your head. Okay, that's a strategy you can use to help you. If it sounds like aw, you know it goes in this list. If it sounds like it's right over here. Okay, so you got some work to do, but I know you guys are working hard, so you keep it up. Okay, and these are the lists. So these are your words for this week. Good luck.